Hello and welcome to IFEA webinar series. My name is Nia Hubby and I'll be your webinar organizer for today. For today's webinar, we're pleased to have Jerry Waddell, President at Video Ideas and PointsMap. Today, Jerry will be sharing with you more details on the IFEA's point map on the IFEA website and how you can get your festival on the map, in addition to taking a closer look at how you can benefit from having your very own points map for your festival or organization. Thank you again for joining us for this webinar. At this time, I'd like to turn things over to Jerry.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's great to be here today. I hope everybody's having a good day. I want to thank Nia and thank IFEA for the opportunity to do this. This is an incredible software. This software is being used by lots of different types of organizations, IFEA being one of them. Colleges and universities are using this for wayfinding on campuses. Conferences and trade shows are using it for wayfinding around trade shows and inside of conferences and where to go and eat. Hospitals are using it to navigate inside of facilities. Civil War parks and national parks are using it. So there's lots of different possibilities to this. And of course, we're here today to talk about what PointsMap can do for you, for your festival or event as part of the IFEA. We're going to be looking at a number of different points maps this morning. We're going to be talking about, we're looking at a demo presentation. We're going to look at one from a hospital. We see the IFEA points map there, which we'll go to in just a few moments. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about and mainly focus on Riverbend and show how an event actually uses it itself. So let me begin by explaining a little bit about what PointsMap is. So I'm going to go to the demo. PointsMap is a software program that runs online, and all of the various points maps have their own unique domain names. So if you had your own points map for your event, it would be pointsmap.com / something like the name of your festival or an acronym or whatever you may want to do at that point. This is the demo, and the IFEA points map is at pointsmap.com / IFEA. So you can visit that and see your point on their map and even edit your point on their map. Again, we'll talk about that in a few moments. PointsMap is based on Google Maps. So you can see that everything that Google Maps can do, all of the zooming and the panning and the changing between the various views to things like the satellite view and also zooming all the way down from the satellite view to the close-up 45-degree view, even rotating the view, the 45-degree angle, in places where that is enabled in Google, and even the streets view. You can grab the little icon up here, the little guy, and move him down onto the streets, and then he will allow you to go into a street view of the presentation. You also have the terrain view. You'll have a hybrid view, and believe it or not, my computer just froze up here on me just a moment. There we go. So it's coming up. It's just getting a little bit slower, I think, here. So there's the street view. So you can use the street view and actually navigate along all the things basically you can do inside of Google Map. You can do exactly the same way. One of the powers of PointsMap is it is not an app. It is an online application. So it works on desktops. It also works on tablets, and it works on smartphones. If it were an app, you would have to get the app from the app store of your individual phone, and there would have to be versions for iPhone, versions for Samsung, Android, all those different kinds of versions. But you can go in any smartphone, you can go into the browser, and if you go in and type pointsmap.com / demo or any of these others, you'll actually see all of this on an iPhone. And we're going to look after a while at another view, and I've got what simulates kind of an iPhone view here or a smartphone view. So we'll talk about how that works as well. So that's one of the powers. Your attendees can plan before they leave home, and they can plan what they're going to do and even build an itinerary, and then they can navigate once they actually get to the festival. You'll notice that there are lots of points that are on the map here, and they all have their own individual icons that are on the map. And as I roll over any one of the points on the map, we'll see a picture if the picture has a point, and we'll see a little bit of information about it underneath. Over here on the left, you'll notice that there's a full set of categories. When you build your points map comes completely blank except for the Google Maps. There's no points on it, and you can create whatever categories you want and subcategories on your own individual map. One of the powers of PointsMap is because you don't have things that are on the Google Map automatically. If you put your business or your event or something on the Google Map, on Google Maps itself, obviously anybody can go in and make a comment about your event or comment about it, and it's attached to your point on the map, because it's kind of a free forum that anybody can comment on anything on Google Maps. If someone happens to put up a negative comment or a derogatory comment, or even if they make a mistake and say something about thinking they're on a different point and they put it on your point, there's no way you can get that off of there without a lot of hassle of going through Google. So there are none of those points that are on the map. All of these points that you'll see on your map and on this map here are points that you control through your login and through an administration. When you click on any one of the points over here in the category, you see they're all identified by icons, and you can change those icons at will. We can even create custom icons for you. I've got a category here called Attractions. So if I click on Attractions, you'll notice that my points map moves back and zooms back and highlights all of the various attractions, which are the red and the white stars. All the other points are still on the map here. They're just smaller, and the large points are the points that are in my category. So if instead of attractions I go down and click on something like museums, you'll see that now that changes to museums, and I can go in and I can see where all the individual museums are. You can actually click on a point as well, and once you click on a point, then you can get more information about it. I'm going to zoom down here to the center of Chattanooga, and we're going to go down to the Tennessee Aquarium here, and you see on the left-hand margin over there, Tennessee Aquarium is right here. If I click on that, it'll automatically show me where the Tennessee Aquarium is, or I can find it if I see it on the map and know where it is here. So I can go into the description and information about Tennessee Aquarium by either clicking it here or clicking it over here in the contents. Another thing is that points can live in multiple categories. For example, the Lookout Stadium is actually in attractions here, so you can find it there. But the Lookout Stadium is also here under recreation and under baseball, and you'll also see that there's a point for the Lookout Stadium. So this makes it pretty powerful because you can make multiple categories for your map so that people can find it through lots of different ways and reach the point and get the information through lots of different categories. So we're going to go through here and we're going to click on the Tennessee Aquarium, and you'll see it's highlighted on the map so we can see where it is. If we go actually to the satellite view, you'll actually see that we're right down on the riverfront in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and that's where the aquarium happens to be. And there's two buildings to the aquarium there. And first thing you'll notice here, there are some pictures. If the point has a picture, then you'll see the picture displayed. You can click to enlarge the photo. And a point, every single point on the map, no matter whether it's inside, outside, where it is, can have up to 5 photographs that you select. It can be changed at any time on your map. So this one has 5 different photographs, and if there is more than one photograph on the point, you'll see the arrow, the forward and back arrow as you go through it. You click it again to minimize the picture. You'll see a number of different buttons here, and then you'll see a full description down here. Every point that you put on your map can have an unlimited description, whatever you want to type in there to tell the customers about. Even have direct links and URL links right inside of the body text of that. So it's like a mini web page about each one of these little stages or events or locations or restaurants or whatever. A couple of things come automatic on all the points. One of them is actually driving directions. So if you select driving directions, it actually transfers that point into Google Maps, and you can then get directions from Google Maps and go find where you are and exactly how to find that from any point, whether walking or driving. So when it opens up in Google Map and we click on directions, then of course we can put in something like I'll just put in like New York, and from New York City, then it will automatically create the directions from New York City to that particular point, wherever it is on the map, and give you turn-by-turn driving directions, walking directions, bus transit directions, all of those kinds of things. That's built in on every point that's on the map. There are also a number of other things that you'll see here, such as the PDF. Every point can have multiple PDFs that can be attached to it, and the PDF will actually launch and give the customer whatever you want them to have, which in this case happens to be a brochure about the Tennessee Aquarium. This PDF could also be a coupon. It could be a history document. It could be a map. It could be anything that you want your customers to have So every point can also have multiple PDFs that are linked to it. The points themselves can also have a button that links to online videos. These buttons are called menu buttons, and you can have as many menu buttons as you want on every individual point. The menu button, when you go in and create the menu button, you tell it what its name is. This one was called menu, video, and then you can create the link. This one actually goes to YouTube. So as you see here, it can play a YouTube video or any video online directly from that point. So PointsMap is a powerful way to be able to create all of your information and to link everything in your website or your existing information to a program like PointsMap. And I'm not going to play the video, of course, because it doesn't play too well across our shared connection on the webinar, but you can see there the video will play. And then we're going to go back to PointsMap. There's a couple of other buttons. We can also create buttons that will go to launch a website. And it can launch a specific website page, like this is the home page of the Tennessee Aquarium, or it can actually launch an inside page where they may buy tickets or they may register for an event. Get a backstage pass there actually goes to the part of the Tennessee Aquarium website that has a backstage pass. So it allows you to go in and find information directly on the website and give your customer an easy way to link to that. One of the other interesting tools is you have a built-in distance finder. When we select a point, like we have from the Tennessee Aquarium, we can turn on the distance finder, and now as we roll our cursor around, we can see how far we are from various other things. Locally there, you can see that we're just about 0.2 miles from the stadium, and you can zoom all the way back, all the way across the United States, and you see the grid forming there, and you can find out that we're probably 400 and something miles from a particular location. There's 938 miles from the center of Texas. So it's a quick way to find, as the bird flies, directions. If you're just wanting to walk from here to the Lookout Stadium, you can see how far it is. So any point that you select, you just click on the point, turn on the distance finder, and then you'll automatically see what the distances are as you tap or as you move around in other locations. Every point on the map can do everything that you see here. So you see all different kinds of examples of things that we do. We also can have another thing called an inside map. Let's go back to the Tennessee Aquarium here. And I'm going to go inside on this just a second. Let's go into Erlanger here. This is a hospital map, and this is actually Erlanger Medical Center. And inside of Erlanger here, we actually have the ability to go physically inside the location. So there you see, that's the Erlanger point we just selected. There's the hospital, and the hospital is a very large facility, as many of them are over years. They grow to encompass other buildings and things like that. So we can actually create a Go Inside button. When we click on Go Inside, you see we have floor plans for all 5 floors of the inside of the building. And we've done something kind of unique here as well. Inside each floor, when you have an inside map, you also have your own inside set of categories. So here you can find everything from where the elevators are to where all the food is on that floor, patient services, the pharmacies, where's the waiting room, where are the restrooms. When you select or turn on any one of those, then it'll actually show what is in that location. So there we turned on and off the restrooms, and you see we can turn on and off of the elevators. You can see where all the elevators are at the location. One other thing that we could do is we can create path maps inside of the facility. Now I'm going to show you how this works actually on the mobile site so you can get an example of the mobile capability. We have signs like this all around the hospital, and these signs are actually QR codes, and we can create, or you can create QR codes that you can put on a sign or a map, and that QR code will link directly to PointsMap and open up the point. So this QR code is right at the front medical mall information desk, as you can see. So if you scan this with your phone even right now through this process, even on the screen, it would launch PointsMap. It would open up to the first floor inside of Erlanger and show you exactly where the medical mall information desk is. So I'm going to show you what that would look like on the phone. If we scanned it, it would automatically take you into this point. And I'm going to go to it manually here. So we'll go inside the medical center, and we'll go inside, and we'll go on the first floor. So if you scanned that code, it would get you immediately to this point. So you can see here we're inside, and this is the view that you'd see on your mobile phone, and we can see that we're in the information desk. We have the ability now to create paths from the information desk. Where are you going? There's a picture of the desk so you know where you're standing. Let's suppose you're going to the Children's Hospital Info Desk, which is all the way on the other side of the hospital, a long walk. You came in the wrong entrance, and it's a long way to the other side of the hospital. Many turns, many passageways, and places to get lost. So we say we're going to the Children's Hospital Info Desk. You can see that we have actually built in turn-by-turn walking directions, friendly walking directions that say something like standing facing the Medical Mall Info Desk with your back to Starbucks, turn right and head toward the large sculpture. Then as you pass the sculpture, etc. So these are all the turn-by-turn directions that you would take to get from that desk directly to the other side of the hospital. If you click back on the map, you'll now see that there's a path that's been drawn on the map for you. So you're starting from right there. This is where the red sculpture is, and you turn and walk this path. So you have the choice of going back and forth between the turn-by-turn directions or actually using the map itself and looking at a line that's drawn on the map for you. Once you actually get to your location and do what you need to do, if you want to head back to where you were heading, then you can go down here at the bottom and we can say we're going to take directions and go back here from the information desk, and we'll click that, and that'll take us from there, and we want to go, say, back to the main info desk, and it does the same. It reverses the directions and then takes us back in the other direction from there all the way back to there. So you see there's lots of ways that this can be used, and using this mobilely on your phone is what is extremely powerful. Let's go to Riverbend Festival. You also have the option, in addition to satellite pictures, which you see here on the map, or the regular Google map that you have, or the hybrid or the terrain map. All of those are available, but you have the option to put a custom map on your PointsMap if you would like, and that's what Riverbend has done here. This is their fun map that you can pick up at all of the 7-Elevens and everything around town, and you can also get them there, and you can kind of use that as a flat map to navigate around. So all of the points that exist on Riverbend also exist on this map. You can see there's the Coke stage. We'll go back to the satellite map, and you can see that over here is the Coke stage. That's where a barge is parked, and that's where the Coke stage is. So every point that exists on here, whether it's food, concessions, handicap accessible, a meet and greet event, or whatever, is on the satellite and the regular map and also on the custom map. So your visitors have an opportunity to use whatever they want to use, whether they want to navigate by the custom map or navigate by the satellite map. So if we select something like the stage, you can see over here everything that's happening on the stage, the day of the event, what the group is doing that's performing on the stage, and as you select every one of those stages, whatever stage it happens to be, all of the information about everybody that's performing on that stage is there. We also put QR codes all around the site. So all of the stages have QR codes. So you can walk up, scan the QR code on the stage or at the entrance to the stage or somewhere in the audience, and then that will take you and open this point up, and you can see exactly what's happening on the stage as well and who is there. When you select any one of these, then you can go to information about them. So we see the Beach Boys are going to be there. There's information about the Beach Boys that were performing there, and we have the ability here to see all kinds of information about them. So as we select any one of these stages, or if we go all the way back to the beginning, we can go under performers here, and we can actually select from a group of performers. Suppose we've heard of Jeff Bodley, and we want to go to see Jeff Bodley there, and we want to get some information about him or add that to our itinerary. So we'll build an itinerary of a couple of points here. Some of these points have lots of information of them. Some of them don't have much information. It depends on what the developer of the map put in there. There's Blake Morrison. Let's add him to our itinerary. Let's go down here and let's find Bounty Hunter. Let's add them to our itinerary. So you see, as a visitor, I'm building a personal itinerary here for me of things that I want to say, which brings down the information about them, the stage that they're on, the time that they're performing, and I can either send that to me as an email or I can print that out and bring that with me. Also, if I have a smartphone, I can use the smartphone on the event itself through wireless or through any kind of a connection, and I can navigate around and see anybody that I want to see. We also have these same performers that are up here are in the various music genres. So if you want to find, if you like country music and you want to find everybody there that's in country music, all the performers up here that are country are also in this subcategory. Whether it be blues or jazz or bluegrass or faith or other or anything like that, everything is there under the various things. Here's the individual stages, so you can reach a stage by clicking there or on the map. You also have things like where you can park, where the restrooms are, where the transportation is to get you back and forth, any meet and greet or special events that are going on, and you see we have things that are blinking there, and blinking things can be special events, and these can be various meet and greet or autograph signing or anything like that that various people can use. So you can see this can be a very powerful tool, and you'll have the same kind of look and thing. We'll actually go to the Riverbend Festival here on the small version of the iPhone. And Riverbend is now currently building the one for this year. They've used this for the last 3 years, and it's been an extremely successful thing with thousands of people going to use the iPhone and planning before it. So this is actually going to open up so you can see what Riverbend would look like on the mobile phone. So as they go through the mobile phone, they still have the version of the custom map. They can go directly down to the satellite map, and they can look down on the site, and they can zoom all the way in and find where everything is on the site. So it's an extremely powerful tool. Let's take a minute, and we're going to go backstage just a second, and I'm going to show you what it looks like on the inside. If you're the administrator of your map, you will be provided with a login, and that login will be a username and a password that will get you into the backstage. This is where you actually enter all the information for your map, and you modify it and change it. You'll see an admin is opened up here. This is how we add a point, and we can add a point by entering the address, if you know the address. But on most of your festivals and places like this, there is no address. There's no address for the corner right here of this pier, but we can put a point there. All we have to do is, while we're logged in, we can shift-click right there, and it says, I want to add a point right there where I clicked on the edge of that. And then we click on Add a Point here, and this is where we go into the interface, and it will create a point at that location. It automatically knows the longitude and latitude. All we have to do is give it a name for the point. We can select a category for the point that we have. If we don't have a category for it, we can create a new category by typing it right there. Once we've done that, we can upload a photograph. We can upload up to 4 additional photographs. We can add a submap, an inside map to it if we want. We can create various types of menu buttons. We paste in a description down here and have a little WYSIWYG editor for the description. And then we can also add PDFs to this point. I'm going to show you some of the things that are automatically in here, or that are already in here from last year. So we're going to actually look at the site tree view. The site tree view gives you the same view that you actually see from the category view. So you can see there's all the performers there. So if we go down to the Beach Boys on the performers, if you click this little icon, the little pencil icon, then we'll actually edit the Beach Boys point. So you can see there's the Beach Boys name. There's where we have the photograph that we put up there. They're under the primary category of performers. They're also in an alternate category of rock and pop and alternative. You can see there's a full description that we've typed in about them. That's where we would upload a PDF if we want. We've added a menu button, and that menu button actually links to a video on YouTube for this particular season. So all of this is added individually for the points. You also have the ability to bulk import a lot of information. If you have it in a spreadsheet, you can import all your points and information onto your map. We can do that for you, or you can do that yourself. In fact, with all of these situations, we offer you the opportunity to license the map for your event for that year and build it yourself, or we can help you build it, whichever way you want to do it. Other things that are noteworthy here, you'll see the traffic that was actually at the particular event. Now, this was a couple of years ago, so I'm going to go back a couple of years. This was the one, I'm using the one from 2011. And so once we click back to 2011 here, you'll see that we are going to grab demographics from the individual event. And 2011 was the first year that we did it. So you can see that during June there were 4,600 people that hit the map during that period of time, and that was all basically within about a week. You see two different colors. You see orange and you see blue. The colors that you see there for the orange are people that hit it from a desktop. The blue are the number of people that hit it from a mobile site. You can click on the month of June, and you can go down and see on the 10th was a very popular day, that there were a lot of people that hit it that particular day. We can go down into the 10th, and we can see that mostly it was hit in the evening. Here's some of the day times, but between 5 and 6 o'clock as people were on the event, that's when they were using the iPhone or their smartphone. You can also see that most of the hits down here later in the evening after about 7 o'clock, most of those are by mobile devices. So people are actually at the site, while a lot of the hits during the day are people that are actually planning from home or from work and seeing what's going on. So you have multiple views of all of your information, from the site tree to the traffic view. You have a list of all of your points. If you want to edit any point alphabetically, you can do it from the site tree, or you can find your point there. You have all your categories spelled out so you can see what icons were used for the categories, and if you want to change any icon, you just select that particular category, and then it opens up the various icons. It'll take a minute for those to draw here, just a second. So you can change the color of the icons to whatever color you want to change them to, and then you've got all different kinds of icons you can use, and as I said, we can create individual icons for you as well. So PointsMap is a powerful system that gives you a blank page that you can develop it and put anything on it that you want and let it work for you mobilely, as a smartphone, or as a planning device from the home itself. All of this information, including your information, multiple users to your account. If you want to have a number of people like interns help you build your account, you can actually create users, and you can do that here by adding a new user in and a password. The only people that can access your map are the people that have a username and a password that either we have given them as the developer of PointsMap, or you have given them as an admin user of your individual PointsMap. So all of this information provides a tremendous amount of capability and power for you, which kind of leads me to what we're doing for international festival events. And by the way, one other thing before I move there, you'll notice that when I refresh the map here, there's a pop-up message that comes up at the very beginning. This is called a welcome message. So you can have this welcome message turned on or off if you want to on your map, so that whenever somebody goes to it on a mobile device or on the desktop, a message will pop up here. This can be as long or short as you want it to be. So it can be about the map, about the event. It could be safety information. It could be a last-minute change. It could be an alert or warning or whatever you would want to put on there. And all they have to do is just simply close it, and then they're actually using their map. This is the map we've developed for the IFEA, and everyone is on this map. This map has as many points as any of our other maps. If I actually turn on members, and you also see that on any of these maps, some of the categories are turned on by default and some of them are turned off by default. So if you just want to turn on part of the categories in the beginning, then the rest of them will be turned off for your user, and they can turn them off at will. The user can also decide, I don't want to see anything except I'm only interested in maybe in attractions and museums and recreation. And so those will be the only points that are on their map. Or they can click on the None button here or on the All button and turn on everything and then turn off. I'm not interested in manufacturing or municipal buildings or things outside the local area, all of those kinds of things. They also have the ability to search. So we can go over here on the map, and if we type Starbucks, you'll see that this will find Starbucks in the location. If we click this one right here, this is the Starbucks that's downtown in Chattanooga, right on the street there at the corner. And you can see that that is now turned on. And if we go back to the search and we look, we see that there's also a Starbucks inside Erlanger. So the search will actually find locations inside of the map. So we see that this is the first floor of Erlanger, and there's a Starbucks inside of it. So the search can be a very powerful tool. The search can also search within a region or an area, and where you happen to be if you're using your mobile phone. So if we turn on search options, we say I want to search within 1 mile of 37402. Let's type a zip code here, and we'll click on search, and the search now will find a museum within 1 mile of that particular area there. And as we expand that out to go to further out to 25 miles or 50 miles or whatever, if there are any of that particular category in there, any museums or whatever you're searching for, or the name of a restaurant, it will find that, and it'll automatically show you here the search area. So you've got the search area kind of drawn out as a little circle here. One final thing you'll notice is you're actually seeing zones on the maps there. So you can even create these kinds of zones by drawing polygons on your map. Here we're designating the areas of downtown. We have MLK University, there's the Central Business District, there's the South Side District. Each one of these zones can be used to talk about the district, and they act just like a point. They can have photographs or pictures or information about what's in that particular area or zone. So a zone is just a colored polygon that you can control colors, transparency, stroke, and everything on your map, and they act just like points. You'll also notice the little line there, and you can even create paths and trails. So if you want to draw a walking trail or a hiking trail or a path or something like that, you can create those on the map as well. We've even on this one, we've actually created, here's a trail and a line, so we've created a road that goes across the top of the mountain, and we show various locations on the road. This is a skyway, and you can actually see it on the satellite map here. So if you zoom all the way down to that, you'll see the highway running, and we've kind of roughly mapped the location across the highway so people can use that and find out where that goes. So it can be used as wayfinding both on inside maps and on outside maps. Finally here, I'm going to show you a little bit on the IFEA. If I turn on their membership, you'll see that a bunch of points will appear on the map all across the country. And when you zoom down to any particular area, you'll find information there. I went a little bit too far. Let's zoom back a little bit and move over to like the U.S. And so you'll see we can find information on the map wherever we want to zoom into. And this will give us all the different information about the map itself. So as we begin to zoom down into the United States, you'll see all the member list. If we turn off the members and say we want to see what kind of festivals are happening in North America, then now the festivals will appear. And as you roll over each one of these, you have information about your festival that's on there. Right now it just has the name of the festival, a phone number, and a contact name. You can get access to edit that point on the IFE map for $10 a month. And that allows you to go in and put pictures on it, put information on it if you want to edit your own information. You can see Riverbend has done that, and Riverbend has their own information on the map here that they're adding in to the IFEA map. They also have a link directly to their Riverbend points map. So if you go from your point on the map, and if you want to utilize a full map for your event, you can click and add that to your point, and this takes you, as you saw a minute ago, to the Riverbend Festival map. So that's kind of an overview. There's a lot there. There's a lot we didn't cover. There's a lot of things that you can do with PointsMap. It's an incredible system. So I'm going to pause now and open this up in case we have any questions or comments. I'd be happy to answer them for you.
All right. If you do have any questions, please go ahead and type them into that questions tab, and we can go ahead and present that to Jerry. The first question is actually, how do we get our point on the IFEA map?
Your point should automatically be on the IFEA map, and you can check it just by going to that map and just searching for your point or looking at where it should be. If it's not on the point, then you can contact Beth, and Beth at IFEA will take care of getting that on the map for you. There's a link directly from the IFEA website. On the bottom, there's a PointsMap link there, and you'll see a place there where it says, how do I get my point on the IFE map? And all you have to do is just follow that, and that'll tell you to contact Beth or email or whatever you want to do, and then that'll get your information on the map.
All right. Next question is, if using this for an event, is there capability of having points and information that is visible to organizers only and points that are visible to all? In other words, can some of the information be public and some for organizers only?
Not on the same map. You can have a map that is only for organizers, that is hidden from view. It is a different kind of a licensing process, because one of Google's requirements to use Google Maps is all of their maps have to be forward-facing. We can establish a private map for you, and it doesn't even have to be Google. We can establish a private map, a private points map, which might be an illustration or a photograph of your area or a diagram or a floor plan or a fun map, and that wouldn't even involve Google Maps. And then on that, you can actually put points and information that you want to have on there, and then we can keep the URL to that private so that only your organizers can utilize it and go to that point and see them. But you cannot mix hidden points and visible points on the map itself, because everything that's on the map has to be available for the general public that's on Google Maps. Now, another thing that you can do that's slightly different from that question, but if you have your map up year-round, which hospitals do, and places like universities and battlefields and national parks and everything, there may be things that happen that only happen a particular time during the year. And so if you have a map, instead of going into IFEA, I'll go into a different one here, but if you have a point on your map and you want to turn that point off for whatever reason, you have the ability in the control panel to turn that point off. Doesn't remove the information from the database, it just takes it off of the map. So if you have something there that only happens a certain time of the year, we'll select one of the points here, and you can go down and turn that information off, like let's say an attraction here, and maybe under attraction, this particular one, the Leah Gordon's Mill is only open, or an event is only a certain time of the year. So you'll see down here we have whether it shows on the map or not. If I turn that off, then it's not visible on the map, so the world can't see it, but all of the information is still there. So next year, I just click on that again and turn it back on, and it turns that point back on the map. It's the same way you can turn off a map or turn off on a map. If you're using it for your individual points map and you're just using it at certain times during the year, we can turn it off, and it'll be non-visible until your event starts the next year.
All right, next question is, do people need to log in to use the program? And if so, are we able to see who exactly is using the program?
No, you do not log in to use the program. You log in only to edit the program or edit and add points. So you saw me log in as an administrator, which gets me into the back end of the program where I can move points around and change things. And by the way, if we put this point in the wrong place all of a sudden and we realize it's not there, it's supposed to be over here, it's as simple as shift-clicking on that point right there and saying we want to move that, and we want to move it right over here. Yes, let's move it there, and so it's moved that point all the way over there. So if you have things at your festival event that change location, you can move them very easily. The public sees this map automatically when they go to that URL. So if you go in any browser or in any phone, smartphone right now to pointsmap.com/demo, you'll see exactly what you see here. If you go pointsmap.com/Riverbend Festival, you'll see the event that they're building for this year. Same way with IFEA. So no one has to log in to see the map, to use the map, to find points, to turn the points on or off and view it and find directions, build their itinerary, look at the information, link to websites. All of that is absolutely free to the public. All they have to do is know the URL. So the URL can actually be built in like that to your website, where there can be a link to your website, or you can actually go, I'm going to show you here just a minute, Sequatchie.com. This is a city that's using this, and they have all of the things in their little community map. And you'll see here, we built this website, by the way. We do that as well. We're a marketing agency and a design firm and a media development. If you look under Living, you can find a business using their points map, and you can see that their points map is actually built into their website. So your points map for your event can be built into your website, or you can link to it from a link from your website, like IFEA basically does. Their website just has a page on the bottom, and it links directly to it and opens it in a brand new window. So you have a choice as how you want it built, and this is the location where you go down here, and this is how you click to add your festival. Somebody asked a few moments ago, and this takes you directly to the IFEA map, and then here is how you can learn more about getting your own map, or about putting your point on the IFEA map, or adding pizzazz to your point on the map, or whatever. All of that is on the IFEA site.
All right. Next question is, how much does the program cost?
We give discounts to the IFEA membership, and depending on the size of your organization, the size of your budget, and the number of hits that you may have to the map ranges from a package of about $1,000 up to about $2,500 for your event for the year. And so if you're a smaller event, it may only cost about $1,000 to have that, and we turn your map on about a month or 6 weeks before your event to give you plenty of time to build it and put everything in place. And then we leave your map on during the event and maybe even a couple of weeks after the event. And then we turn it off, and you can use it again the next year, and all that information will still be there if you want. If you're a very large event, it may cost you $2,500 for that because of the number of points or the number of people that are going to be hitting it. You do have an option to keep your map up year-round, as the Riverbend Festival does, so that they can plan ahead and show what's coming, and they can also show people what happened last year and use that as kind of a marketing advertising source. If you decide you want to keep your map up year-round, then it's always on and accessible year-round, and all you do is pay a hosting fee, and that hosting fee can be anywhere from $50 a month up to a couple of $100 a month, depending, again, on the size of your organization, the number of hits that you're going to have, and all of that. So typically, from $1,000 to $2,500 is a package per year for your event, and you can have it on year-round by paying a small hosting fee.
And so the follow-up question to this, that question is that fee based on the event entering the information themselves, or you entering the information?
Yes, that's based on your entering the information yourself, although we will do a bulk import for you for a fee. The fee might be a couple of $100, depending on how big your list is. It could be a little bit more. So if you want to supply us with a spreadsheet where the locations are, then we can bulk import to the map for you as an additional fee. We can also build your map for you if you don't have the staff or the resource to do that, and we'll base that cost on what it would take us to build, the amount of time it would take to build a map.
All right. Well, that looks like all the questions that are at the moment. There was lots of information. So do you have any final words before we wrap things up, Jerry?
Well, I just want to say again, thank you very much for this opportunity to do this. I'll put my contact information up here. If anybody at this webinar or anyone else wants to have a private demo, you can contact me, and you can log into my computer much as we have here, and I will show you, answer questions. I'll give you a tour of the back end. I'll show you how various things are done, and also if you have a points map, then I can help you build it or show you how to do certain things inside of it. We're very excited about this. We will be at the conference in Pittsburgh, and we have been for the last couple of years. Please come by our booth, and you can visit the PointsMap website just by going to pointsmap.com, and that is where we're having lots of information about it, and there you can link to and try the demo, and it is a functioning demo that you saw me using today, so you can go to it directly from there. And there's also a lot of featured sites that are on there as well. Many of them you saw today, like the Chickamauga Battlefield and the Chattanooga State as an example of a campus, and Riverbend and places like that. So there you can see the various kinds of locations and see how they're using their points map around the country.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your participation in today's IFEA webinar, and especially thank you to our speaker today, Jerry Waddell. For more information on the IFEA's Point Map or for the PointsMap program, please head to the IFEA website or watch your email inboxes, and I will be sending you a recording of this webinar in addition to any other information about PointsMap that we have. This now concludes today's webinar. Thank you again for joining us, and you may now disconnect from the webinar at this time. Thanks so much.